All right, welcome everybody to the Stair Floor, episode 3. I am your host, HgFin. Once again, as always, I'm joined by Halqery and JuiceboxCommando. How's it going?
Sup?
Vibing.
What have you guys been up to?
Minecraft, getting our shit kicked in by Minecraft.
Getting world record for darkness.
That too, yeah. And WiiWare. Don't sell yourself short.
I don't have record for WiiWare anymore.
Not anymore, but you did.
I did, yeah, a couple days ago. So I guess since the last Stair Floor, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about why you're doing WiiWare, because obviously this episode is going to mainly be focused about the new cheese tournament or event, whatever you want to call it, that's happening. But you got darkness record today, today, right? Yeah. How did that happen?
So I woke up at like 9:30. I was awoken by my family, and I went into the PMD Discord and I saw Ethan, EMO, and Secure Account were doing a Sky Wondermill race, and then I put in race planning something along the lines of I wake up and there's just kind of a Sky Wondermill race going on. Y'all are nuts. Shady at Shady. We can't let them one up us like this. Start this race right now. And then he was like, they said, what, you want a better world record to beat, Kappa? I said, yes, my runs currently have too much hope and I need to be humbled. He said, all right, Eden, real quick. And then the rest was history. I beat it by about like 40 seconds.
So. That's pretty good. Because like, Yemo hit me up to maybe join that race that they were doing. I'm not sure how many people knew about it. I think it might have been a little like secret Zoomer race. I'm not entirely sure, but I was just asleep, so obviously I didn't join. But I don't know what the result in that was. I'm assuming Secure won.
An hour into me and Shady's race, my alarm went off, so I probably would have been asleep too, and none of this would have happened.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, in terms of world records, I'm pretty sure Secure got a new Sky record, like maybe it happened before the last episode, but it was.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it for sure.
Yeah. I actually want to pull that
like
up real quick.
4:43:09, I believe, in the Sky.
Yeah, last week it was a 4:43 for Wondermail on emulator, of course. So good shit.
It's insane what they're doing with that category, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it makes me want to get back into it, which I actually need to soon, because on my channel point redemption things, I do a Fampy run, and I've had that there for like over a year, and someone finally redeemed it, and I just haven't gone around to setting that up yet, but I need to do that soon. So congrats to Secure. What was the time before that? Oh, he beat it by like a minute, 3 months, or yeah, his last record was 3 months ago. Beat it by
the 4:44:44 run.
Yeah. So good shit. So yeah, let's get into the cheese tournament, because we were talking about it last episode where we couldn't really reveal the details because it wasn't public yet, but it just went public the next day after we did that show. So what we know about it is it's nothing that's ever really been done before in our scene. Essentially, what Cheese is requesting is for people to submit on a forum categories and games that you have not run before, and if you would be interested in running it. And he's going to have a team system where right now it might be 2, ideally 3, I believe, but going to be on teams. And then there's a whole point system where if you beat your racer or your opponent, you get a certain amount of points and they get less. What are your guys' overall thoughts about the concept? Because I actually think it's pretty fun and gets people involved in something they might otherwise not have done before.
I think it works very well in a multitude of ways. The first thing, obviously, is it gets new people into the community that may not have done very much things before. For example, Strife Sada, I know he's done R2DX in the past, but that opens up his horizons greatly to do pretty much anything. And then there's people like me and Shady and Secure and Shadow who are series runners, who all we have left is like 1 or 2 niche obscure games. And at a top level, when people are grinding this and preparing for these games, this is going to be the first time they're ever put on any kind of stage, or any kind of pedestal, or given any kind of eyes on them at all. So it's just all around great for the scene, I think.
Yeah, because I was looking like Secure, for example. He's on like his GOAT game, in my opinion, is Sky. But he's like fucking amazing all the other ones. Like I think he might have BRT record. I would have to fact check that. But I was like, what games hasn't like he done and like these other runners done? Like, is there anything that Cheez himself hasn't even done? You know, but
Cheez is not done.
We were. That's true. Do we know if he entered that? Did he say?
You know, I know he wants to participate, and I know that's one of the few things he has not done. So I think it's very likely we may see him doing that.
Yeah. So for people like Cheez who have done everything, their options are limited, where they really have to find like the niche game or category that they haven't done. But for people like who only do one game, like me, where I've only really done, I did like Gates once, and I mainly just do Sky, and I did BRT a bit, but I have a lot of options for categories like that. So I signed up for a lot of those, and I think a lot of runners also have signed up for a lot. And I don't want to reveal the whole list of like who signed up for what, because I'm pretty sure that's not classified, because anybody really could just be like, oh, this is what I signed up for. But I don't know what Cheez has in store for us just yet.
You don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. So
I think the other interesting thing with this, I guess, tournament, for lack of a better word, it's basically a tournament, right?
Yeah.
The cool thing with this one specifically is because everybody has to run something that they've never run before. This would theoretically be really good if you've never run anything before, to just jump in.
Yeah.
Especially because like there's no prize pool, and even though it's like a team-based thing, the fact that it's team-based should get you in even more, because you don't have to single-handedly carry yourself. So even if you don't do too hot, I mean, you tried and you learned something.
Yeah, there's less pressure, but then there's also more pressure because you don't want to let your team down. No one here is toxic. No one's gonna get mad at you if you like lose your race or something like that. So honestly, it'd be sick if we got some new runners who haven't really done anything before, like maybe some of the Crystal people who entered the tournament, like you mentioned, Strife, Halq, which that'd be cool. But let's talk about the categories for a second, or the games, because there's a lot. It's basically everything.
This is something that I've been very vocal about in the planning section of the Discord. Now, if you're not aware, I'm gonna burst your bubble. This isn't completely Cheez's idea. This was an idea that was pulled from both me and Finn. You know, we kind of were just pitching it, you know, just in case, you know, he needed a little bit of help, like, you know, getting some put together. I mentioned what if we made people do things that they weren't, you know, they've never run before. And I think Finn brought up the idea of what if we do this in a team-based environment, kind of like a league with points. But when I had the idea of the challenge thing where it's like everyone's playing a new game, I didn't envision so many categories being up for grabs, because like at this point, the total pool of all the categories and games is being a little bit muddied by BRT and Sky. It doesn't leave much for any other games, because right now I understand time constraints are a thing and it's a real problem, but at this point we're seeing a lot of BRT runners just stay with BRT and a lot of Sky runners stay with Sky, and that's not really the heart of what I had in mind, you know?
Yeah, like
that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, because like for me, for example, I signed up for Time and Darkness because I never did that. But I mean, that's essentially like not.
It's a different game, in my opinion.
Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't done it, but it's like in the same vein as Sky. And then for BRT, I took this as an option to do other categories. Like I signed up for the quick save ones because
that's a different game too.
Yeah,
like Time Darkness and Sky is like you're playing. It's like Sky, but you're playing by different rules. Like for one, your item gets equipped every time you leave a dungeon. For two, abilities like Storm Drain and Lightning Rod that normally only affect the room that you're in, it affects the whole floor. So you need to be careful about using water moves anytime there could be a Gastrodon or a Shellos. And then on top of that, you have different starter choices, and Riolu is just not an option. So I think that's a perfectly valid choice to go for. And then quick saves, it's just I can go on and on about how that's just completely different from quick save no mail.
I mean, it's almost not even like a PMD run, because it's just you're memorizing.
It's the least PMD run of all the PMD runs for sure.
Yeah. So we have, let's see. In Sky, I believe we have all 90% no 1ml shit. We have the Dark Rye. I don't know if all the icons was listed on there. I could probably pull up the thing if I want to. But and then for BRT, we have so many categories for BRT because, like you said, it's really kind of getting muddied down. Where we have, like, not only do we have no quick save, no 1ml, but we have quick save with 1ml, no 1ml with quick save, unrestricted.
Don't show this, but we have this if you need reference to what all's in there.
Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, it's like, because yeah, you have for BRT, the main 3 categories are any % all icons and true ending, and then in all 4 of those, or in all 3 of those, we have 4 different like subcategories where it's no quick save with 1ml, quick save, 1ml, and unrestricted. So do the math.
And that's then like not even listed there. Like I think they've added Purity Forest ILs. Like if you scroll on the right side, they do have BRT Purity Forest.
Oh yeah, Purity Forest.
That's another one that's not even listed in that big cluster.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention in Sky, I'm pretty sure there's also special episodes, right?
There's all the special episodes, all of them. And then there's all special episodes, and then all special episodes, New Game Plus with no Pure Seeds and no Luminous Orbs. It's a little arbitrary, if you ask me. But I mean, I understand how Cheez likes to operate these events, and he comes from truly a good place. Like he did this with the relay. Like he's all about accommodation and inclusivity, and that's what we want to see for sure. But I don't think we should we should sacrifice the spirit of the event for the sake of inclusivity. And I think there's a certain line that needs to be, maintained, because otherwise this is going to be a BRT marathon for like 3 or 4 weeks straight, featuring this one game here, featuring this one game here, and it's going to be just mostly a BRT fest.
Well, I'm not sure if I don't know what he was what he is thinking right now, but I think what he could do with this is it's just a good sample size sort of thing, just to gauge like what's possible, what people would even do. And then
and I mean, he has like come to us, and this isn't anything new. He's obviously, there's a second tab, there's cool pairings, like just notable matchups that he's noticed that can be a thing. Now we're not gonna say exactly what those are, but he is keeping an eye out for people that are running things that are very different from what they're used to, and we'll just make a good spectator event. So.
Yeah, because I mean, knowing Cheez, he will go the full distance if he wants to. That's just how he is. That's how he operates. But I think what he'll probably end up doing, if I were to guess, is sort of weed out all the nonsense ones. Not nonsense, but like the ones that he might not think would be good enough to be included in this. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens with that. And then on top of that, like I said, we have all that BRT shit, Time of Darkness, all the Sky stuff. And then let's get into WiiWare, because WiiWare, historically, if you don't know, it's a game that not many people do because it's just Japanese, right? There's no English.
For years, it did not have an English patch, so the only way to run the game was in Japanese. And no, I tried to make like a little comprehensive guide for myself, like writing down what color every seed is, so I don't have to remember, I don't have to learn kanji or some shit. Like it's miserable, but it's a little bit less miserable with English patch, because then that burden is at least taken off you. But it's still miserable. Don't get me wrong; it's still very, very miserable.
When did in a different way, but just like, how did the English patch come to be? Who's responsible for this?
Completely independent of our community. I think it was about 1.5 years ago. Okay. People had just been working on it, and then they just suddenly released it, and we're like, wow, this is great. We can use this for speedruns, just to accommodate the English community who doesn't have the opportunity to play these games. Now, with that being said, nobody ran it, but that the record before a month ago was sitting up there for a full year. So nobody outside of Japan was really running it, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that's always
many reasons for that. It's hard to, it's not very accessible, And then on top of that, it's the most difficult game I've ever played in the series for sure.
Yeah, it really is like the black sheep in this community. You know what I mean? Where it's just nobody really beforehand, at least, even really touched it. But now we have you doing it. Secure's been doing runs, right? And then one other person.
Me and Secure have been, I want to say, carrying routing
Yeah.
for this game over the last couple weeks with the help of Reserve Cat, who is just a brainiac with everything. It's a total bookworm. So he's been helping us with base stats and, knowing how crazy rooms can get filled with enemies, just all the technical nerd shit that we're not very good with. He's been very helpful with that. And then Secure came up with a really good missions route to get to the end as soon as possible. And then we just kind of have disagreements about what the best starter partner combo is, just because there's like 4 good options. And
which, to be fair, that happens in literally every single PMD game.
That's just classic PMD routing.
Yeah, that's not anything new.
Yeah, but it's especially hard for a new game, or like not a new.
Yeah, this game literally just came out. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
everyone wants to be a PMD game. It's right there.
It's especially hard for a game where that really doesn't have any routing. Like when RTDX came out, I don't know how long it took for people to figure out a defined starter partner combo, and that can change at any time.
After like my second day of running it, I rated Mistolity, and he was like, "Oh, how did we work?" I'm like, "Dude, this game needs cheese. This game needs cheese so badly." like Cheese. I think we mentioned in the last episode or one of the episodes, Cheese's biggest strengths as a community member, and one of his biggest accomplishments is just creating such comprehensive, easy to understand, flowing guides that have a ton of research done behind the scenes into them, because Cheese is able to easily identify, oh, this Pokemon sucks here, this Pokemon's great here, this Pokemon sucks across the entire game, this Pokemon's great across the entire game. And this has resulted in times for a lot of the games in our community drastically decreasing. Like Time and Darkness is now at a sub 530, which is insane given a year ago or 2 years ago it may have been like around the 550 mark. And then Super, nobody was ever going to beat Cobral's time with Chespin, Pikachu, or Chespin somebody partner starter combo. And then Cheese came out with this one run of Totodile Pikachu, and now we're sitting at in the 540s when we were at 630. So he's contributed tremendously to our community.
Yeah, I think Cheese is the type of guy where he determines that with, like, he does test it in the game, but he also can just like look at the stats and the move sets and figure it out just based on that alone and just theorizing. But it's also good that Secure is running this too, because he is a guy in Sky.
He's a grinder.
If you don't know, he just like gets insane times with any partner starter duo, and he just tests it just to say like, why not? Just see if he'll do his routing beforehand. He'll do his theories and shit, and then put it to work and figure that out. So I think it's good that his mind is working on this WiiWare routing shit as well. Has there been like a new world record in that recently? What's the deal with that?
So the world record for a long time, or the best recorded run, was 137 by Soft Bean Myra. However, I believe in the video they said they got a 125 at one point, but they never recorded it.
Okay.
And then I tried for like 3 full days trying to finish a run. And then I eventually got I found out Teddy Ursa was really good with Covet. It's a really quick move that does ridiculous damage. And I used that to get a 117.41. And then I think 2 days later, Secure got a 115. And then I haven't been back really. But then Secure also got a 108. So that's where it sits right now, is 108.
Okay. So that's not, I mean, it's pretty short then.
It's a really short game, yeah.
Yeah. But isn't there like 3 different games for WiiWare, or am I like mistaken?
Yes, there's PMD, I'm just gonna call them red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know what their names are. But I can send you a picture of the base stats, but basically each version has its own stat, or has its own list of starters. You can bring save files over from one game to another. I had an idea one day of maybe starting the game in the red version where the starters are the best, and then immediately swapping over to like the blue version or the yellow version in case they had easier dungeons. But that's like a time loss of like 7 minutes, because you have to play through both intros to get to the other save files. But WiiWare. So if you look at this this partner starter list, one of these things is not like the others.
Yeah, let me see. And
I'm sure you can find it very, very quickly.
You guys probably won't be able to see it, but I will pull it up on the stream.
What the fuck?
Have fun trying to read this, by the way, guys. But
what do you see, Juicebox? What do you see?
Why does Growlithe have 13 higher attack than everything else on the list?
That's the thing. That's the thing right there. Growlithe is fucking crazy, and he's a 2-star Pokemon, so he can carry 2 Pokemon on his back. And stacking is basically the replacement for linked moves in this game. Basically, you link moves through your whole team. So if you have a stack of Growlithe, Teddiursa, and Eevee, you could have a link set of Ember first with Growlithe, and then Covet with Teddiursa, and then Tackle with Eevee. And they all get done in the same turn. And actually, the people that are on top of the stack don't actually lose PP. So it's only the bottom person that loses PP.
wait, so which one are you guys running out of all three of these?
Growlithe.
Well,
we're in the red version.
The red version. Okay, yeah.
I start with Teddiursa and Cyndaquil, and then pick up Growlithe in the next dungeon, or vice versa. You start with Teddiursa. Secure prefers to go with Eevee, and then Teddiursa as a partner, and then pick up Growlithe afterwards.
Just to clarify, what's the reason we're doing red and not blue or yellow?
I mean, just look at Growlithe's stats.
Okay.
It's absurdly
single-handedly carries. Yeah.
It's attack stats 33. You're hard pressed to find anything else in the 20s.
Yeah. The closest thing to it is 26 from Teddiursa, which is also in red. The next closest thing is 20 in the other 2 versions.
I'm okay.
Just look at the puppy.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the only
developers, man.
The only difference is just the Pokemon, then, essentially, in these games.
Yeah, the dungeons have different names. They may be themed different. They may have different encounters, but it's just worth using the red version alone, just for the pure strength of the roster.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, WiiWare, man. And then on top of that, we have Gates and Super, of course. Any percent watermelon, and I think there's a bonus category for these. I forget what this is.
I do want to kind of gloss over Gates and Super.
Yeah.
Gates, any percent Wondermill versus no Wondermill, there's actually pretty marginal difference, I'd say. For the most part, the game is run with the same partner starter set, and it has mostly the same route, mostly the same preparations for every dungeon. However, Super, it is heresy to play that game without Wondermill, because it's just so brutally hard. Or at least it was for a long time. The best thing was Cheese's Tepig starter route with like heavy slam and stuff, and it didn't work for me. And it was just unsafe. But I guess now they're making strides in it to where it's more safe. Shady found a route with Oshawott and Chespin, not in that order. And it's better now. The problem is with Wondermail in Super compared to Gates is there's an item in Super known as a guiding wand, which when you wave it, it tells you where the stairs are. Through Wondermail, you can obtain 40 of those free of charge.
That's nuts.
All you have to do is just type it in.
That's crazy, yeah.
And that helps a lot with, just not having to fight as many things. You could also Wondermail in Petrify Wands. You can Wondermail in 40 of those. Wondermail in Reviver Seeds. Wondermail in TMs, accuracy drinks, power drinks. So you can juice yourself up before the game even really gets going.
Right.
But with no Wondermail, obviously you have to pick up those things off the ground, and it's not very likely.
Yeah. So, and then RTDX, I signed up for this one because I own this game. I also own Super and only played 30 minutes of it, but I didn't want to do Super. I signed up for RTDX because I own it and haven't played it at all.
I paid extra to buy Australian eShop cards and buy it from the Australian eShop so I could play it a day early.
Really?
Yes.
Well, was it worth it?
I did not make it past Sinister Woods. I have not played past that point ever.
I will 100% always stand by my belief that RTDX is the best Pokemon Mystery Dungeon casually. It is extremely fun as a casual game, but the game is just miserable when you're trying to go fast.
Well,
Like, there's ridiculous input delay. It's insane.
oh, I haven't tried it, of course, so I don't know about the input
But I
delay.
mean, it does have an interesting way that it is speedran, where split up strats are starting to become very common.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. But like this game just takes it to another level because this is the first game I believe where you can just really quickly switch which one is your leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like in WiiWare you could switch leader, but it's slow and it's not worth it. But it's just a tap of a button in RTDX, I believe.
And you can do it like stupid early.
I'm also pretty sure that when your partners are like running around, doesn't the like room update the map?
Yeah, it does that in Super as well.
Oh, it does? Okay.
But it's much more prevalent in RTDX as you're able to once you have somebody that's found the stairs, you can immediately switch to that person and go up the stairs.
Yeah. Oh, true. Okay, yeah, that's pretty correct. I do like that aspect. So I would be interested in doing that, but we'll just have to see. And then for Sky, like we are.
Oh, those are just more categories for Sky. Those are all the special episodes, Destiny Tower, all special episodes, New Game Plus with no Pure Seeds and no Luminous Orbs, and then 10 Dungeon Blitz.
Yeah, so I like that the 10 Dungeon Blitz is in this.
I agree. I think it's good because there were people, and we talked about this during the Stair Floor while the tournament was going on. There were probably a lot of people that were not interested in the randomizers simply because what they've seen of randomizers in the past and how horrible it is, how brutal it is. But maybe through watching the tournament, they now have a better outlook on the tournament or on the randomizer. Maybe they played some casual races in the Discord while the tournament was going on, and they're more interested in it now. But either way, I think it was a good addition to the list.
Something I thought that could be interesting to do in the same vein, which I don't know if we should now because there's just so much, but if we added the old rando where it's Beat Drowsy and have all and have all the new runners who did the 10 Dungeon Blitz format. I've never done this before.
That's a one-off exhibition. I'll host that.
Just like that sounds fun. Just have all these guys who haven't done it yet, like just see what we were doing, experience what it was like previously.
I have a playlist on my channel. I'll link it. It's not good. Everyone hated it.
But that was were there two different randos for the first tournament and the second one?
Or, no, I think it's the
same, right? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the first one, I believe we mostly used the randomizer of the person who made it.
Yeah.
And then for the second tournament, SPR had made some tweaks to it.
Yeah, the tweaks.
To remove Dark Void, I think, and a couple other things.
Yeah, I just think it would be funny to have all these people who haven't done that yet just experience what it was like beforehand. But
oh, Shady says, I played OG Sky Temple Rando. You have no idea. You have no idea what it's like. It is so much worse than you could ever imagine Sky Temple Rando being.
Yeah. It's
First of all, you have to do overworld movement.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can't filter out any items whatsoever. Did you get stuck in Bristol? I was there, Shady. But
you weren't there, man.
It's so much better now than it was. Trust me.
And Juice actually reigns supreme over me in that category, so
yes sir.
But and then what else do we have? What is this BRT one?
It's the Purity Forest.
Okay, and then we are talking about the rest of these then.
DX is also Purity Forest.
Okay.
Gates, what does that say? What is the acronym?
PONR.
Gates Pony.
Oh. And then Super just says meow. I could if I go to the initial
okay. Path of No Return is what the Gates thing is.
Yeah.
It's probably just like a Purity Forest clone of that game. And then Mew percent, spoiler alert for anybody who's not played Super. Plug your ears now. Your partner,
actually, it's pretty good.
Your partner is Mew. And after the game's over, it has to go back to being Mew, unfortunately, as that's how the world works. So it's not you that has to leave the game and go bye-bye forever. It's your partner. So it's quite an interesting twist on, you know, how the game is normally progressed. But then afterwards, you're just kind of stuck there alone, and then you're told that you can find the partner, and then you're just fucking off. You take off and you go find them.
Actually, didn't even know that. You spoiled it for me.
I said spoiler alert.
You should have plugged your ears.
No, if I cared, I would have taken my headphones off. But yeah. So that's all those. Did you guys have any other potential category ideas?
It's too full.
It is too full, but just for fun, let's just say like anything else, because I was reading through the whole meme board and was looking for something, and then I put like death percent or some shit. But there's also like
the category extensions.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I want to see fast gates instead of maybe normal gates, just from a spectator perspective.
Like
it's perfectly fine for people to volunteer gates and run gates legitimately, and we encourage that. You know, try to get a leaderboard time. But for the sake of presentation, I don't see a problem with it being done in fast gates.
Yeah.
I want to be opposed to that. It just depends on preference, because one of the things that we need to talk about is that if I can find it, what did he say? Yeah, so regarding the platforms, she says, in an ideal world, racers will agree to use the same platform as one another, even if that means most people will be playing on emulator. And then if there is a situation where that simply cannot work, we will apply certain penalties to the players on faster platforms. And like, there's not a precise way. We all know this. If you don't know, there's not a precise way to do that.
That's what she's tried to do in the relay.
Yeah.
He tried to, balance it out based on platforms. And I don't think it ended up making the difference. I think Shady carried way too hard in the relay for it to ever make a difference. Seriously, he did his own runs, then he came in on halfway in the middle of a run and finished it. So absolute carry, absolute unit.
It was such a fucking clusterfuck, a shit like that. But it still ended up running pretty smoothly despite those problems.
Carry is enough. It's a term that I'd like to apply to that man.
But
Shadow came in clutch too with Sky Wondermill.
But we also what I was trying to say is I like this. I think runners should come to like some sort of gentleman's agreement on what platform.
I meant in the Brawl tournament I was in Speed Gaming Live. Everybody the official platform was Dolphin 5.0 stable. However, the racers could agree to play on console if they so chose to.
Right.
So maybe we could do something like that where the default is emulator unless both players agree to play on console, or one player cannot play on anything but console. So
yeah, obviously, like if you only have one option, then just do that option. But I think default should be emulator unless you guys both agree to like Wii U or like DS or something like that.
It just makes it more accessible too.
Yeah.
A lot more people can just stream an emulator than can go purchase a capture card for whatever game they want to play.
Of course, yeah. So I like that rule set. And then regarding the teams, let's see. I think it would be cool if we could have team captains. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do the teams just yet. I guess we're going to wait and find out. But he says maybe team captains, or I think he's just going to balance the teams as best as he can, which is impossible to do. Because, well, not impossible, but it's hard to balance the teams if it's categories and games that people have never done before. So,
right. I mean, I guess you could do like relative skill based on what they have done before. But there was ideas maybe like every admin has their own team, just because like all the admins will probably be participating.
Yeah.
There's an idea for it to be like a popularity vote for captains and then a draft from there. But I think a draft is a bad idea just because it can lead to teams being very overstacked.
Right.
Like it was for we did all special episodes of Relay a couple years ago, and Cheese's team was top heavy. Well, I guess they weren't at the time, but then a lot of them just put their nose to the grindstone harder. I think our team just played Fortnite instead of practicing one day. I think that's an actual thing that happened.
Oh my God.
So yeah, some people took it more seriously than others.
Yeah. So somehow we could have, I don't know how balancing is going to work for that. It's going to be hard. But right now, by the way, like I said, we have there's no guaranteed info, but I think we're leaning towards 2 teams right now just based on the amount of entrants. But
please sign up if you've not already. I recommend it greatly. It's gonna be great.
If we get more signups, we could have 3 teams like we did for the last relay. So
for sure.
Yeah, sign up if you haven't. And speaking of that, Juice, have you signed up? What's going on with that?
I have not, because I haven't found a category. My entire thing with PMD has always been I was interested in Sky, so I went to a Cheese stream and I was like, well, I don't love that you guys just like Wondermail and Golden Seeds. I feel like it kind of cheapens the experience of the game. Is there a category where you don't do that? And he was like, yeah, there's no Wondermail category. And I was like, sick. I'm interested in that and nothing else. So that's like all I've really done. But thinking about it, I was actually just talking about it right before we started. Actually, I might sign up for Super with Wondermail.
Oh, awesome.
Because Wondermail in Super, how kind of like lightly touched on it earlier, but it's not just like you can go to a code generator and then be like, I want 30 million golden seeds. It's like literally like there are set codes that give you set things, and that's it.
In Blue Rescue Team and Explorers of Sky, Wondermail is practically a language. So if you speak the language, you can make it do whatever you want, and it actually replaces your missions, which are supposed to be a thing you do to progress the game. So not only are you giving yourself things that you should not have in any normal playthrough, but you're also just replacing part of your run with these really easy things where you just set foot in the dungeon and you're instantly done. But as you were saying, with Gates to Infinity and Super Mystery Dungeon, the only codes that are allowed to be inputted into the game are ones that were officially released by Nintendo.
I also just think Super would be good for me just as like a spirit of the tournament type thing, because I mean, just like Finn, I've never actually played Super. I played Super for like 2 hours. That's it. So I think it would be just cool to just go ahead and learn it.
Yeah, that'd be
the access codes are actually the same as Super to the careful observer. They reused the same string of letters and numbers for DX as they had in Super.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. But
yeah, different items though.
Is there any other game or category you would enter? Because if you don't know, you can enter multiple and then you could only end up getting one, but you can enter like as many as you want. So
the thing is, I had considered when it first came out signing up for Wondermail, but then I was just like, but like I'm just really not interested in it. Gates, I have a vendetta against Gates. I don't like it. I really don't like Gates.
How cool defend Gates, by the way. We're not Gates haters.
And
Gates, I've said this on many times. Gates is legitimately, unironically, my favorite game to speedrun when I'm not sitting in a cutscene.
Yeah.
That's just my only thing. Because it has the best dungeon mechanics of any game. You can hold Y to skip all of your move animations. There's no belly to worry about. And there's a lot of floors in the game that are exactly the same every time you play the game. So
So what else were you saying?
BRT, I've done runs of it. I can't do it unless it was Wondermail, which again, I don't want to do that. RTDX, I already mentioned, my favorite casual game. I'm not speedrunning it. I won't do it. It's just not fun to play, in my opinion. If you're trying to go fast, super good casual game, not fun fast. So that pretty much just leaves my option as Super Wondermail, and I think that's what I'm going to settle on, because I've also done all specials, so I can't do that.
Sounds good. Something else I want to talk about for BRT, which I mean we mentioned it, true ending or whatever. Like how I didn't even know this was a thing, and I discovered it was in the category extensions,
yes,
right?
So that was a thing that spawned purely from the Japanese community. That was their second category. Whereas we jumped straight into the deep end of all icons. They decided their longer category was going to be true ending. The quote-unquote true ending of the game, where you resolve the Gardevoir Gengar conflict. So you go a little bit past the main story of the game and you escort Gengar to the end of a certain dungeon in the post-game, and that's it.
So yeah, I think I might have signed up for that as well, just because I was like, what the fuck even is this? But it's just BRT with just extra stuff in it, right? So
yeah, but I think you may need to prepare differently if it's anything like Darkrai and Spores of Sky, Time and Darkness, where as soon as you beat the main story, if you don't have at least 5 Reviver Seeds on you, you're fucked.
Yeah, just call it there. Just say it was an any % run. Don't mention Darkrai. You picked up the 2 blue gummies for fun.
True.
Yeah.
Or 4 if you're safe, but something else. So let's talk about the teams and the points aspect. So Cheez's current plan. I'm reading this from the Paceman, by the way. It's accessible on the Discord, or I can post a link in here in a minute. His current plan is that the winner of each race gets 2 points for each opponent they beat, plus 4 additional points as a bonus for winning. Each other racer gets 2 points for each opponent they beat, plus 2 additional points for either finishing or waiting for all opponents to finish, which essentially means
Your
3 teams.
Does that mean you're like rewarded for not just quitting and just fucking off?
Yeah, like, because if there's more than 2
that's great. I
teams,
like
right?
that.
Yeah, if there's more than 2 teams.
We did have some situations in the tournament where somebody fucked off 5 minutes into the match, and it wasn't a good spectator experience.
I wonder if he made this rule just for that, or just for that instance.
Yeah.
But also just like, yeah, because if there's more than 2 teams and one guy finishes and the other guy could just like quit, but you're still getting the points for finishing, which I kind of like. And then shorter, more luck-based races will be worth half the points, i.e. +2 for winning, +1 for only finishing, 1 point per beaten. Ideal for single special episodes and ILs. What is ILs? I don't know what that is. But
ILs is individual levels.
Okay.
And stuff.
So yeah,
99 floor dungeons. Yeah.
Which makes sense because if you're gonna tell me that a Bidoof race and a Gates race are hand in hand for points, you're crazy. So
yep.
I like that. And then as an incentive to not give up, like we were just saying, the only way to get 0 points is to forfeit before your opponents have all finished. Otherwise, you'll always get 1 or 2 points at a minimum. And then if it's a 2-player race, first place is 6 points, second place is 2 points. 3-player race, it'll be first place is 8 points. I can actually show you guys this real quick on. This is small enough so you can actually read. First place is 8 points for 3-player. Second place is 4. Third is 2. And then 4-player race. First 10, second 6, third 4, fourth 2. What do you guys think about this point system?
I like that it scales based on the amount of people, because like there is some prestige in winning a race that has a lot more people in it. Because like if it is just a 2-player race where like your opponent just gets fucked, then you worked a lot less hard to win, I think. But if like let's say you're in a 4-player race with like Shady, Shadow, Secure, and just myself, for example, and like Secure and Shadow just get dumpstered somewhere, but Shady keeps up with me, I'm actually rewarded for hanging strong against that person. So
yeah, and I really hope that we do somehow make this like a 3-team thing, because then I think the points are really gonna come into play and it'll be more juicy.
So there is a chat question: if there are runs that nobody has done before, are people allowed to practice? Yes. As soon as the form went out, I believe Cheez said you are free to start practicing these runs now, and people have started doing that. We've seen Secure and me doing WeWare. We mentioned Ciethan and Yemo doing Sky Wondermelt today. This morning. I don't know who else is doing what, to be honest. Strife is learning Explorers of Sky, I think. I saw him doing a stream of it. Yeah, people are out there doing things to get ready for it. There's probably also some people preparing in secret. But some practice is very much out there. And I recommend watching all the streams that show up in stream pings, or anybody that's streaming a speedrun in the directory, regardless of whether they ping it or not. Just definitely check them out.
Yeah. So we have that, and then oh shit, wrong button. And then you won't know your opponent for probably a while, I would imagine. It depends when this is going to happen, because he had 4 options for the scheduling, right? It was like December, right? And then like
late December, early January, late January, or like late
summer.
February.
It was like he said summer.
Damn.
So I'm hoping it's not summer, because then that just gives people too much time to prepare, I think.
Well, shit, me and Mike and might have to do something in between then.
Yeah.
And
so hopefully it's not the summer one. Ideally, I think it happens late December, because that's when everyone's going to be on break. That's when people, well, not everyone, but people who are in school and things like that are going to be on break. They'll have time to get some practice in. and their schedules will be more open for this. So I do hope that if I were to pick, I would pick December, but it's really just going to depend on the polls. But definitely, I really do hope it's not summer. Summer would be kind of an L. And we'll, like Halq said, if it is, we'll have to have something else going on.
Something that was in there that I think is worth mentioning at least a little bit, and just kind of speaks to Cheez's live and learn mentality with these events.
Mm-hmm.
It says very clearly, if you need to reschedule, the burden is on you to find a certain time slot with your opponent that doesn't overlap with other races or a replacement runner. Otherwise, your race will have to be canceled. In the relay, we did have a situation where somebody was accepted for a run, and then they found out that they couldn't get the time off for work. And instead of just them being fully replaced with somebody else, they demanded they be involved in the run. And so they had this weird thing where, like, this person started the race, and then 3 hours in, they sent their checkpoint save file to another runner, and then that person finished.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember that. That was.
Wait, when was this?
I mean, I understand wanting to be involved, but like, if you can't, you can't. It's not that serious.
Yeah. It's not that big.
It worked out in the end, but like that I'm just saying that because, like, just to make the point that Cheez is not fucking around this time.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
Okay. Well,
it was Ciethan, unfortunately, but
Oh, that's the situation?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard different things, but it's all right. Or will this be restrained? Let's talk about restrain. Because so the thing is, like, I think he's thinking maybe having like commentary, right? Which I don't know how that's necessarily going to work, because for something like Gates, you're going to have a commentator doing like that the whole time, like or like even just like Sky or Darkrai or whatever the fuck, right? That's a long time for a commentator to be there, and they don't have to do the whole thing. But also, I kind of like the idea of just having the comms open for the stream where we can hear the runners talk to each other and things like that.
Yeah, I thought it was great in the relay where, like, we had commentators that were around to explain things when runners were serious time.
Yeah.
But like, for the most part, the runners were still there, and it super helped during the graveyard hours of Gates that all the runners were just there, just memeing, like, just with each other.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you supposed to do for 8 hours?
Yeah, we could at least have like.
It works out a lot better if we actually end up not finding anywhere to restream, because to be honest, most of our runners are sailors. And I just think it would be funny to watch if we ended up not getting a restream sorted out. If we were just all on comms, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, we did the relay on really, really longathon, and I don't think we had any issues with language, or either that or they didn't really care.
Yeah, I think that was fine.
I know
for
speed
that.
gaming is very, very family friendly, and on top of that, I love speed gaming. I've worked with them for 2 straight events now. The only problem is getting your foot in the door with them for certain events can be a problem. Plus, like, they have a very busy schedule. So even if you do get your event involved, there's a chance that when a match were to be happening, all 6 of their channels are full.
Yeah.
So it may not get directly restreamed. It may have to be recorded and played later.
And for something like this, like, obviously, like, it's great working with them, and it was amazing to have us retrain for the 10 Dungeon Blitz.
PMD has been on speed gaming once before the tournament. In 2017, in December of 2017, that's where we did our series race.
Yeah.
It was on speed gaming, so.
But
they can host us, but
they can. But for this, I would honestly even just suggest going with something like really, really longathon or nothing at all, because for speed gaming, I feel like it's more like a professional, like, actual tournament type vibe, and for this, it's more kind of like, it's still like competitive and it's still like competition. Yeah. But
I know Cheez has really, really good rapport with the people behind really, really longathon, so I feel like that's our most likely destination. And Benelux Speedrunners Gathering, which is an organization that Sniper Wave has a big stake in. So
yeah. So, and of course, like, if nothing else, it doesn't necessarily have to be restrained. But regarding the commentator, I think it would be cool if we have like the comms open for the people racing, and also we could just have like one person like in there as well. That would be the commentator to help kind of talk about the runs and divert discussion if they felt like it. or if someone doesn't have a mic or something like that, they could be talking about the gameplay that's going on that other runner's stream, you know? So I don't know where you guys stand on that.
Secure account. Finn is giving you an out to join this, by the way.
Well,
He's literally, he just said that someone will commentate your run for you. You don't have to do it.
Well, Secure, he'll be in the chat, I'm sure, talking about it regardless, but, you know, for audio purposes.
Secure account is the greatest chat commentator we have ever seen in this community, or probably will ever see.
Like, before him, we had Gian, who was also doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, Gion's actually blown up a little bit.
He is, yeah.
He, I think even before that relay, he ended up being the first person to ever beat Emerald Kaizo Hardcore Nuzlocke. And that was really big for his stream at the time. And then I think he stepped away for a moment to do our little relay thingy.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see a Cobral versus GN race, which was really hype for the moment. And it was really insanely close. But yeah, shout out to GN.
And then, is it GN or Gian? I always say Gian.
It's Italian. I don't know. Gian.
But yeah, those are my thoughts for the commentary aspect. And then what else do we got here? Let me read through this. I think that's everything. So what we could talk about is, like I said, we don't necessarily want to spoil the people who have entered if they don't want anyone to know what category they're doing or whatever. So just theoretically, who would you guys like to see enter? Who do you know enter that you're excited to see do the category that they've been practicing? Because for me, Secure Weebware is pretty pog.
I want to see this guy sign up for it.
Yeah.
Like now.
I'll do it. It's fine. I got it. What I really want to see, and what I feel like the whole tournament is like built for, and I mentioned it earlier, is new players. Because people come into chats of runners like all the time, and they're like, "Oh, this is so cool! I didn't know that you could speedrun this game." And it's really simple to speedrun PMD. So like, if you're on the fence, this is me shoving you off of the fence. Just join the tournament. There's no pressure. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I think this is just a speculation thing. This is not really any indication of how things will go. I think the BRT no quick save, no one most slot would be perfect for just first time players. Because in my opinion, that is just the most friendly category to new people.
Yeah, your first run will probably be like 4 hours, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, there's like 3 dungeons in this game that I didn't realize I hated this much." And then your second run will be like 3 hours, and then you'll keep pushing it down. That's just how PMD speedrunning works.
That or special episodes would be good, I think. So they're just short.
Yeah, individual special episodes would be good too.
Someone I wanted to see, who I'm not putting them on blast or anything because I already talked to them and they have a pretty good reason. So this isn't me putting them on blast. But Shadow, I would have liked to see him enter, but he is so busy with school and stuff like that if this is happening in like late December, it would be the only time that he could. And even then, his free time is valuable and he wants to solely spend it like grinding Sky, which I get. I understand that, but it would have been nice to see him enter. I am excited to see like Secure, like Shady do new categories, of course, and then new runners I hope enter, like Evanumis. I hope to see Evanumis do something, because he mainly does, I think he's only done Sky and BRT, so I hope he branches out to do something else. Runners we haven't seen in a while too, like someone like maybe like a Ryoner comes in for this. That'd be cool. Anthem come back, baby. I miss you. Let's see Anthem enter. Someone, oh my god, who is it? I gotta check the leaderboard because I was thinking about somebody that when I was making the meme, I was looking for this guy's name and I almost put him in the meme for the tournament. Who is it? Oh, let's see Music Will too, hopefully. Liver 6. I haven't seen that guy in a while.
Yeah, that was like one of the first people, like besides the oldies, to become a series runner. Like he was just so quick to just hop on everything.
Yeah. So then,
like I love that energy. Like
I don't even know what he would do because he has some like some things.
WeWere is the official game for series runners. or RTDX if you're into that shit. But you know, I think we're gonna see some battles in these lesser run games by the series runners.
Yeah. Anybody who didn't enter the 10 Dungeon Blitz tournament, I would like to see them enter, just because it'd be fun. It's just a fun thing. It's nothing serious. So,
Wait, don't get with Shayla. Don't say that. Don't say that. We were fine if you can just like survive and shit. That's great.
Trying to think if anybody else sends out to me. Because I'm only
fine as long as you literally don't die.
Shady, I need you to tweet that opinion so I can ratio you.
Oh, I'm gonna pull up the leaderboard for this game real quick. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Let's look at Cole Quill for a second.
Oh my god, Cole Quill is a legend. He was grinding Super Mystery Engine really hard. It was me and him grinding like after the relay was over because we were two people that were running in the relay.
Yeah.
And he took a break to participate in a really big Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer tournament where he actually ended up winning over like the biggest Kingdom Hearts runner, Biscuit.
That's crazy.
He won the whole tournament, and then from there, I think at that point his focus on PMD had been lost. Now he just does more Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizers, Kingdom Hearts 2 vanilla, and just RuneScape on his streams. But I think, you know, with a push, I think he could definitely come back and do some damage.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do shit.
He came up with RTDX.
Yeah, that's where I knew him from.
Of the game.
And like, yeah, he's been kind of a ghost in the community as far as I know, so it'd be dope to see him come on back. And then
probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. Like, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Also, Soft Bean. Let's see, because they've only done Sky.
The OG WiiWare world record holder.
Yeah, they've done Sky, DX, BRT, so I'm sure they could do something else. Oh, what if we... I just realized when we were talking about games or categories that we could add. Yeah, Poke Park, just throw Poke Park in there. It's, if you don't know, it's essentially a meme that Poke Park is a PMD game. Just because if you go on the leaderboard, like it's essentially just filled with PMD runners. Like it might as well just be a PMD game, just because of how many people run it in this community. So I think that'd be fun. It obviously probably won't happen, but it'd be funny if Poke Park was in there. And then, so yeah, Soft Bean. You know, like Inferno, Machu, Pixel. You know, I could just name everybody. I don't know if they entered yet, but
yeah. So I mean, we did mention that this would be good for new players to get involved. I did have the opportunity to make a featured Reddit post on our Mystery Dungeon, just basically advertising our community and, you know, giving it a blurb, like a shout out. Unfortunately, the challenge event had not happened yet or been announced yet, so I wasn't able to advertise that as a selling point. We may have had some people jump in from the Reddit post into our community, so we may see some new people involved for a race or two.
I have some friends that are speedrunners. I'm gonna hit them up and maybe be like, "Yo, you should join this" or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna pester the fuck out of all of my crystal friends and make them do it.
Yeah, new runners on this would be dope. But also, I love this whole concept because it is making people who are experiencing like one game branch out and do other things. So also looking forward to that. What else? Is there anything else about the tournament we can talk about, or have we like covered it all?
I guess we can give our rank downs of all the PMD games as a speedrun, just as a guide for what people may enjoy.
Sure.
We'll exclude RTDX from the rankings because it is a bit of a contentious topic.
And
but if you're looking for movements, your choices are Explorers of Sky, BRT, and WiiWare. WiiWare's movement is actually so fucking crisp.
I haven't played it, but oh my god, it looks clean just watching it. I think the game runs in natural 60 FPS. It looks insane. Like
it's so clean. Like I've never felt more in control of a character other than like Explorers of Sky and BRT.
Well, I'm actually very interested in WiiWare. I probably won't sign up, but I might give it a go at some point.
You got it, buddy.
Well, because the thing is, I already signed up for like 4 different things.
You can edit things.
Yeah, You know what? I'm gonna watch you play at Halq or Secure, and then I'll make my decision after that.
Oh, after the event.
No. After, like, I'll watch you guys grind it.
All right, Secure, we're racing tomorrow.
No, maybe I will sign up for We Are. We'll see. So that's the movement guide. What about adaptability aspects? What do you think, game?
I think
Against, like, the
it's
cake?
probably, I'd say Super Wondermail's probably up there, just because, like, you know, in BRT and Sky and other games, like, you have much more flexibility to just run from things and just not pick fights. But in Super, you're practically forced to engage with everything that you encounter and decide what to do. You could petrify it, you could warp it away, you could stay away wand it, you could, you know, put it to sleep and run away. Like, you have practically unlimited options what you can do, but you have to engage that opponent. Running away is not a good option because all the move animations are pretty slow, and it's just a massive time sink to just let those things go.
To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to speedrun Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Speaking of high IQs, let's see Nostalgia enter.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to adapt at all and you just want to go based off memorization, quick
BRT.
save, BRT quick saves.
Mm-hmm. It is the most similar to most speedruns, most traditional speedruns. Like, Super Mario is just like, I do these inputs at this time, and it's that way every time. That is about as close as PMD will ever get to that.
Yeah, because the fascinating thing about quick save, besides the fact that it works, is that it works so well. Literally, every enemy's movement is controlled by your own movement. Like, it really just makes the idea of a random number generator be like, instead of something that's always fucking ticking, it's like, fuck you, 6. The number is 6 right now, and you're playing 6. And if you play 6, and don't make any movement mistakes, you're through that floor perfectly every time.
So there's that. And then I have to say it because it seems like, well, I haven't played it, but we had some RTDX slander going on. Shady is in the chat advocating for it. He thinks it's a pretty good speed game.
I mean, we talked about the benefits of it a lot. Like, it's like Super, where allies clean up the map and reveal things. Plus, like, I mentioned that in Gates to Infinity, you can hold Y to skip all move animations. But if you're walking into an enemy on your controlled character, you can just switch to another party member and have all those animations happen off screen. So it's really strategic about when you take fights, when you let the fights happen off screen, when you switch to go to the stairs. Like, I haven't seen the full run myself, and like I said, I have not played much of the game, but it looks pretty intense. Like, at its
just
top level.
To clean up a little bit of my own RTDX slander, the only problem that I personally have with RTDX is the input delay. Not everybody is going to have a problem with that. If you don't have a problem with it, it's probably realistically going to be one of the best speedruns too, because it's like basically inarguably everybody who's played it says it's the best PMD game casually. So, like, if the input delay doesn't bother you, then it's probably a really good speedrun too.
So there's that. And then we haven't mentioned Gates on this list, except Halq already kind of hyped it up by saying it's the best game.
If you like watching movies, then Gates is pretty cool.
Gates actually had some optimizations recently. We had actually a pretty big route change earlier this year, or middle of last year rather, or maybe it was the middle of this year. I don't know. But basically, the route was to just go to Ragged Mountain over and over and over again every time you had to do a mission, and that gets a little tedious. And now it's also considered to be slower, because we kind of came up with a discovery. Me and Aerophile were just kind of looking at the game, and we realized that there's this other mission board just sitting there that you unlock like about an hour into the game, and on it are challenges. It's the challenge board where you have to defeat a group of enemies, and the rewards you can reap are a lot better than those you can reap on the other side. You can get pure seeds as rewards for these missions. They give you more rank points, and most importantly, they count as your mission for the day. So it's worth going through and doing numerous missions from that board just to build up enough pure seeds to skip the ugly dungeons in the game. Practically, we skipped the entire west spire of Great Glacier with the amount of pure seeds we get. So yeah, I mean, I think the route's fantastic for that. And if you're not sure about the cutscenes or whatever, you can just run fast gates. We have a category extension for it.
And we had mentioned that, right? Is that is that like already in there as like that's the category that we're doing, or is it one of them?
No,
okay.
It was an idea we had.
Yeah.
I mean, the relay was vanilla gates.
Okay.
So the precedent is that it would be vanilla gates, but I think fast gates are good for practice.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I don't think we missed anything really. Yeah, any other thoughts on the event? I'm pretty excited for it in general.
We have racetime.gg pages for every single game in the series. If you want to just race with a friend, race with somebody else, if there's any races going on, you can utilize racetime.gg to kind of keep track of the race for you, track when people finish. It can be recorded for history. I recommend using racetime.gg because it's a little bit underutilized right now. Yeah, definitely use that.
So unless anyone else has or thinks of anything else later, that's all our thoughts about the tournament. Definitely sign up if you haven't yet. It's going to be dope. Cool little event. And then, so there's going to be, we still have some more to talk about. But it's going to be a shorter episode than last time. So the one thing I was thinking of discussing is just more content ideas in general, because right now we just have runs. We have this podcast, and then I don't know what else we have other than like events and things like that. But I was in the shower right before the stream, and I was thinking, like, what could we talk about? And then I was thinking, what about like different content ideas? And when last night, I don't know how it started. I don't know what caused this. Like what algorithm shenanigans happened in my YouTube recommendations. But I was watching The Price is Right, that the original series that aired in the fucking 50s. And I binged that all night. I was like, what if we had some sort of game show for like PMD? Like, for example, okay, in Melee on the Golden Guardians YouTube, they have like Jeopardy for Melee.
Jeopardy.
Yeah. So it's just something like that I think could be pretty fun for Sky. So
I feel like that idea is good.
Just PMD.
I think I tried to mention in a previous episode that we need more content creators. I definitely mentioned it in our previous like notes. I don't know if it ever got brought up or not, but the series only has a couple real content creators. One of those I would say is Mastaldi, who's done tons of content about like recruiting Jirachi in 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something ridiculous like that. And casual players look at that and go, there's no way you can do it that fast. You have to get through all these floors. And then they watch it and they learn about quick save manipulation in that way. And I believe he has a video explaining how to recruit legendaries with double HP in BRT. Like he's really, I would say, our only true content creator that's not just that doesn't just have a YouTube where they dump speedruns onto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think videos like top 5 starters to pick, in X game would do really well. Top 5 speedrunning moments from the community weekly highlights would be cool.
That's true.
So
like some sort of clip compilation.
We
or something.
Need more content creators for sure.
I'm pretty set on this game show idea though. Like I want to host a PMD game show. Yeah, I don't know what though. Like what do you guys think? What other game shows exist that we can just like
I'll
copy
be there.
paste?
I'll stream Monster or I'll play.
Yeah,
I got you. I'll support it.
So right now I'm thinking Jeopardy. That's just an easy one. Because it could be interesting. You could make it about like history, like players, or like actual things and like the games and things like that. And then it's just pure like game knowledge and like history knowledge.
All right, I'm gonna be like the backroom guy for that because I know all the history, but I guess that means I can't play.
Well, I would for that I would have you help me make the board or whatever for it. But also you'd be a good contestant because of that. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about the game shows.
I don't know. There's a lot of ideas we can do to engage the community, to produce content, but I don't know. If this ends up happening and it's great, that's fantastic.
I don't know why I'm so set on this right now, but
man, you live your dreams. Don't let anybody ever tell you something can't happen, okay? But yeah, if you've ever had a thought about making content for PMD, for making tutorials, making video tutorials, I think Juicy said you're making some kind of tutorial, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it a video
shameless plug. I'm starting to work on No Wonder Mail video guides for PMD Sky that are they're supposed to be, ideally it's going to be like multifunctional, where it's a speedrun guide, but also it's supposed to help people casually, because it's going to have like, this is every possible layout that can possibly happen in this dungeon. You just have to find the stairs, and this is what floors they occur on, this is what items spawn in it, just all that stuff.
So like more stuff like that. Like, if you have anything you contribute as a PMD resource, then by all means go for it. But in general, the more that stuff comes up, the more people are easily helped. And in that case, the more easily people are introduced to the games. Because when I got here in 2014, there was not really any guides. There was kind of like there's a Squirtle Charmander guide on PokemonSpeedruns.com wiki for BRT, and it was not good, because by then the run that got me into it was Worcester's run with Skitty Charmander, so that route was completely irrelevant to me. So I had to learn, when Skitty leveled up, when Skitty did things, and I made my own Skitty route and then uploaded it. But like, it still wasn't great. So,
well, that being said, I'm trying to think of any more content ideas. Nothing comes to mind at the moment, but just fun things like that. Because yeah, we really don't have much going on. That'd be good to get more community involvement. Because like I said last time, we're kind of like booming right now in the sense of everyone who was doing things before is kind of coming back.
Sorry, that gives me a great idea. Zabuz is from Chile, where the primary language spoken is Spanish. Maybe there's some people that want to get into PMD speedrunning, but that don't really speak English fluently, and they aren't able to understand our guides. Maybe these guides could be translated into other languages, to where people who are not, proficient in that language could still, understand what to do, to the point where they can hop into an English speedrun and know exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good. I was also thinking maybe of like me doing myself at some point, like other fucking, like some other podcast idea as well. But
he's leaving us already, Juice.
No, we're keeping this going, don't worry. But more so like in the sense of like interviews and things like that, with like top runners, or like someone who was like really relevant at some point in time, getting their thoughts about the game and like how.
Oh, I'm here for the Fretzy interview.
They came up and things, yeah, something like that. And then also like just a sort of like history type thing, or like meta discussion, like a Thorn's thoughts type of thing, things like that.
In the beginning, there was
one. Where's the metagame documentary for PMD? Which that won an esport award.
I can make
by
a
the
history
way.
of Sky 80%. I can recite it real quick. First run I ever saw of Sky 80% was 650.51 by Cobral. Then at that point, he brought it down to a 6:48. And then I got the record finally after 6 months of trying, 6:38.39. And then Cobral got it immediately back, which was the first Riolu run, 6:30. And then I got a 6:23, I believe. And then Lycanoob got like an insane 6:18. Then Lycanoob got a 6:03. Lycanoob got a 6:55 or 5:55. So I can make a video about that, or do a thing about that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well,
it's also on speedrun.com. If you go to statistics for any game in particular you're curious about, it'll show you the world record history.
Yeah.
As long as they're submitted to speedrun.com.
Yeah, because not everything was submitted, right? So
some things have been deleted too, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the content ideas I got right now. Is that it? I can't think of anything else to talk about.
I think that's it, yeah.
All right, well, in that case, guys, thank you for watching the Stair Floor episode 3. Next time, we'll try this. This almost didn't even happen, by the way. We'll try to do this again next week. I don't know when. Do you guys know when Cheez is even considering like releasing the information? Because that's going to give us so much more to talk about. Right now, we were just theorizing the whole time. Like when he actually
maybe next week we can delve into some history if we have nothing.
Some history. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. That could be interesting.
Write out like a little timeline. We can go over it.
As soon as Cheez releases the tournament information, we're going to be delving into that. But if that doesn't happen by next week, then yeah, we'll talk about some history things. And that's it. You guys, thanks for watching. You can follow Halq at Halqery on Twitch and YouTube. You can follow Juice at JuiceboxCommando. No space or underscore on Twitch. I don't know if he has a YouTube, but follow him on Twitch.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Ciethan for making the layouts, because I've been having them make a new Stair Floor layout for each episode, where it's like a different Stair Floor.
Dude, so. That fucking are they actually like, they're actually redesigning the actual floor?
Yeah,
I was about to make a smart ass comment about like, damn dude, opening the PSD file and changing the number on the floor. That's insane work.
So shout out to Ciethan for that, and that's it. Thanks for watching. This will be uploaded on YouTube. Before I sign off, here's the link for the thing, by the way, guys. And yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.